Happy New Year, everyone. It's Elizabeth from Tech Out My Class, and I'm really excited that it's New Year's Eve. You might actually be able to hear some fireworks go off if you turn your volume loud enough. But I made a digital goal setting sheet for your students because the New Year is a perfect time to really set goals for yourself. And we know that if we write our goals down or if we use pictures to represent our goals, it's just going to solidify our goals that much more. I don't know about you, but usually the goals that I set, I'm really good about following them for a couple of days, and then I lose track. And I don't want that to happen. I want to be held accountable for what I do. So I actually posted my goals. These are my goals right here online because I want my online community to help me accomplish these goals, just like I want your students to help each other accomplish the goals that they set in your classroom. So to do this, I have a Google slide presentation that's editable that your students can use. You can share it with them using Google Classroom, or your students can share this in Seesaw. And Seesaw, you can actually make this an activity for your students to do. So I hope that this is something that's useful in your classroom, and I'm just going to share how I created this and how your students can share it using Seesaw. So if you head on over to my blog, which is checkoutmyclass.com, you will see a link to this right here. And then once you open it, you're just going to select make a copy. I have text boxes so your students can write their name and they can choose a title, and they can also write their goals down. And the goals correspond with these pictures. So here's my example. I chose 4 pictures that represent what I want to do for the new year, and then I wrote my goals down, hoping that my friends and my family can hold me accountable for these goals. I also cropped my picture to match these little apps buttons, and I'm going to share how to do that, but of course you don't have to have a perfectly cropped image to still make it fun and cute. So your students are going to hopefully write their goals down first. So after they've written their goals down by hand or online, then they can choose images that best fit their goals. So for example, my first one was I wanted to grow. Grow is kind of my word of the year. And so of course flowers is an image to grow. So I'm going to go and I'm going to search the web, and I searched the web for flowers. And then I found some flowers that I liked. Maybe I just love these flowers right here, and I inserted that. However, when I insert the image, obviously it's way too big. And so I needed to do 2 things. I want to crop this image, and I also wanted to crop the image and make it kind of these rounded corners. So I'm going to go to the crop button and go to shapes, and then I'm going to crop this rounded rectangle shape. Then I'm also going to crop the image to fit into a square. Whoop, did not mean to do that. There we go. So now I kind of have more of a square, and I can fit it into my app. Kind of align it here, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I want it to be perfect. There you go. And your kids might take a little bit too long doing this, but that's all right. Okay, good enough. All right, and then I'm just going to repeat the process for the next 3 images. Then over here, I'm going to click on the text box, and I can change and write my title. So the title that I chose is My Goals for 2018. And then I can also, in the next text box, I can then write down what my goals are. All right, so once I'm done with this, and if I want to add this to Seesaw, here's what I'm going to do. So first, have your students go to seesaw.me. So here's my teacher demo account, and you're going to have your students press the plus sign. And because this is a teacher account, I have an extra step, but when your students press this plus sign, they'll see this. And then you're going to press add file because this is a Google Slides file. Now, before your students do this, when they open up, when you first open up the link from my blog, you're going to get kind of you're going to get this extra example image. If you delete that, so let's say I want to delete this one and this one and this one. You only want the image that you want your students to share in Seesaw. Otherwise, they're all going to have the same image of the example, and most likely you don't want the kids to see that, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm making sense there. All right, so now I'm back in Seesaw, and I'm going to go to Add File. I'm going to select from Google Drive. However, if you've saved the picture as a JPEG or a PDF or a PNG file, then your students would be able just to see that. But I'm going to share it as a Google Drive file, so I'm going to go to Select Google Drive. Then I'm going to click on my Appy New Year, and it uploaded the file. I can also, as a student, I can record my voice, and I can talk about my goals out loud. I can even add a caption. But when I'm done, I'm just going to press this check mark here. I want to send it to everybody. Press the check mark. And I have folders, so I'm just going to say this is part of my fun stuff folder. And just like that, it's now on Seesaw. So now students can look at it, they can give it a comment or a like, and they can see what one another's goals are. Now, if you don't want to send it as a Google file, then it's just the same thing, but I would press select from the computer, and then I would choose my image to share that way. All right, so I hope that you have a very, very happy new year, and that your students enjoy setting goals and really build community and help one another out when it comes to making sure that these goals are met in 2018 or 19 or whatever year it is right now. So I'll talk to you guys later. I hope that you have an awesome new year. Goodbye.